Absolutely brilliant when we go live. For those that have just noticed, maybe you've looked at the header and it says BWW Quickie 1.0. There's a good reason for that, okay? Because this is a very quick one. And it's just to make people aware that it's not part of the Cilantro series, because actually tonight we would have had a wee guest on and we've now changed that. So we'll be running out tomorrow night. Oh, we've got some people, yes. So we're going to be running out tomorrow night at 8:30. We couldn't do it tonight due to a potential embargo. So we're going to have to push it. So the session, which should be Slancha, episode, what would that be now? Episode 4. That's now been postponed to tomorrow night, Thursday, 8:30. So I'm on here just as a wee quickie, just to say, for all those beautiful people that have come on to talk about it, I'm sorry. Hi, Tomo, David, how are we? Thanks very, very much for coming on. But I just thought, even still, it's 8:30. We can have a bit of banter, a wee bit of chat. First time listening live, looking forward to it. Alec, listen, I feel really bad. Hey, John. We're going to be introducing one of the northern distilleries today and having a bit of a conversation with them. But we've had a slight change of plan. We're going to do that tomorrow. They've got some things they want to release and talk about, and we're going to have to do that tomorrow. But I just thought I'd come on anyway for the crack and talk about some other things. So everyone who is looking forward to spending money on Friday, there's a lot of things to buy. I don't know if everyone's noticed, but your man, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, Hinch. But your man from, what would you call it? From Cologne, Brendy, he's gone mental. So he has these little things. I can talk about this just now. This is dead on. This is the new Potchine, which is coming from Cologne. Lovely wee bottles. Look at that. It's like a little gas canister. It's like we're going to go and fill up, our little, a little two-stroke motorbike. That's what we're up to. These guys have it good. This is a limited set. 5 little bottles, all Potchine, all from 5 different. They're 5 different casks from 5 different breweries across Ireland, from the 5 ancient provinces. So, looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to being able to purchase one, because they're limited sets, and I think they're going out only to a couple of retail outlets in Northern Ireland. So Potchine is on a rise. I know I was just listening to Serge there, and fair play to Serge. Some of the chat there about Potchine was very important. There is a big surge of people making an effort with Potchine. We've known that Dave down in 1661 Bar, 1661 Dublin has been pushing it. But yeah, Brendan, the core range of Potchine which has been out has been really good. I think he led us to believe he's on to batch 5 of that Potchine, and these are slightly different. This is aged slightly, or rested. I'm allowed to say rested in casks for a little while. I just thought I'd come on and say that. Also on Friday, if you want to go and purchase something, you want something new, we've got a new Dunville's Cask Strength PX 12-year-old. Not going to be many of them about. Not going to be many of them about at all. And I'm looking forward to it. Lovely people on tonight. So yes, Connor, good to see you. Thanks very much. Jonathan, yes, I'm glad that you'll be there tomorrow. Anthony, cheers. Do you know what? I've been out and about all day. Been busy. Schooling earlier. Everyone does the school stuff, and all of a sudden you're out and you're trying to make things happen, making the whiskey go round. Yes. Hello, Drew. How are you? Yes, Kenny. Andrew, good to see you. Aidan, yes, it is real Potchine. Thanks, Louise. Thanks for the hat. Is this Potchine suitable for sick calves? I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question, Tom. I don't know. Richard, I have to tell people about this, and I have to tell people about everything. Paul, what's the crack with Dunville's 1808? Good question, Dave Cummings. David Cummings, 1808 is a blend, specifically being released in the States, either slightly before or simultaneously here in the north. So in around Paddy's week, that bottle should be coming to us. It's an absolutely terrifying blend. It's been thought about and mulled over for the last year. at Echelonville, and it's absolutely brilliant. So it's, it's the component parts are really interesting. They've stuck, to their guns in terms of, the liquid itself. Everything, there's no messing about with it, and we're going to see, and hopefully we'll get the chance to taste it very quickly. I did steal a bottle. I was going to bring it on again tonight, but that would be unfair, the amount of crack that they're getting. Barry, yes, how are you? Aidan, yes. Potching on our arthritis, yes. But that was just from the wee man up the hill. Surely, Aidan, that they were just somebody will making it for them. But it'll be available in the UK at some point. Yes, David, the 1808 will be made simultaneously. As I say, it's in the States and it's out there first. But then that simultaneous release, and what I mean by that is that it will be a matter of days, weeks, not even, that we're going to see it here. And you know what? We should be very excited by it. And it really, I've tasted it months ago. As I say, they've been deliberating as to when they're going to be bringing it out, and it really is nice. It's definitely worth waiting for as a blend. But people, let's remember, it is a blend. So the 1808 is not, it's not going to be the single malts that we've been used to. It's not going to be these 12-year-old cask strengths. It's not going to be those 18-year-old cask strengths. This is, it's a blend, but it's a very good blend. It's for definitely think about things to come from Echelonville, which is really important. So, and they'll do an official release, and we'll have someone on from Echelonville in the next week to be talking about the next, they're on 2 weeks. So tomorrow we've got Hinch on. So tomorrow we're on with Hinch. So we'll have Jamie Cotter from Hinch tomorrow. He's going to be at the distillery. He's going to be there, and he's going to be. He might even do a wee tour. I think we've maybe even got to the point where he might have his phone and he might go and do a little walking tour for some people. So those that haven't seen this absolutely fabulous distillery that genuinely could not look out of place if you stuck it into Speyside. Like if you plonked it right next to, some of the major Scottish distilleries, that it would look the part. In fact, it would probably put someone to shame. That's how beautiful it is. There's a absolute, we're very blessed in Northern Ireland with very, very pretty distilleries. I mean, if you look at Echelonville's distillery, that beautiful big glass frontage, stunning. If you look at David Armstrong's Radamon estate, I think you probably say that Radamon estate. If you look at that, building, again, it's stunning. This big glass frontage that you can see what's going on with the distillery, and a beautiful space for people to go and see. But Hinch, if you drive past it, and you glance over, you could automatically think that you were in Scotland and you were about to go and visit one of the greats. So that's pretty cool, and I will continue to say that. Bushmills, you look at Bushmills, it's just this expanse, beautiful old style distillery at the start, and it just expands into the hills like something out of Kentucky, I know those kind of bourbon, big massive bourbon warehouses that are on the go. But yeah, proper excited about tomorrow, because I know that Hinch are about to start talking about some new releases that they've got coming. So we're looking forward to that conversation. Exclusives, which is pretty cool. And look, this is what this banter is all about. This launcher series is saying thank you, and again, it'll be thanks to Hinch for the amount of effort they put in during last year's festival. And again, looking forward to them joining us this year. But yeah, tonight was just a wee bit of me coming on and saying I'm sorry. It's a wee quickie. I just want to say thank you very much for turning up. But here, anyone get any questions, or anyone? And do you know what I can do just now, because I go back in and read a lot of the chat. But if you want to get me to bring someone on, or get me to bring on a distillery in the next couple of weeks, because I've got a long list of people that are coming on here between now and July. You imagine I'm doing this twice a week. There's a lot of people to talk to. But if you've got anyone that you want to see, or if there's a distillery out there, or something that you want to get a wee dram of, and would want, because so far I've only had 2 requests for a dram. 2 requests. I'm kind of like, do you guys not want to drink? Do you guys not want to come and have a wee swallow with me? You know what I mean? Because I would really like that. So if people want a wee drink, you know what I mean? A couple of wee drams, 3 wee drams, I send them out to you. All you have to do is pay the postage, and we'll have that bit of banter. I was in Sergi's chat this afternoon, or this evening, sorry, just listening, and what's going on down there is absolutely brilliant. But someone was saying here, best whiskey club in the world. Hold on. Not too sure about that. Have you seen Belfast Whiskey Club? You know what I mean? I would love to have that face off between clubs. You know what I mean? It'd be nice. Let's who's the best whiskey club? That'd be great to see. No, I'm not wearing my hat tomorrow. In fact, do you know what? I might even go for a clean shaven look. I don't. Should I take this off? I'm not sure. Do I take the whole thing off? Do I take the hair back? I don't know yet. I haven't made a decision. I might just tidy it up. I might just proper make an effort. Maybe put a shirt on even for Hinch, because it's kind of like, have you ever seen the way they advertise themselves? You know what I mean? Shirt on, check shirt on. They've got the sea bass. I call it the sea bass, but you know what I'm talking about. You've got that padded waistcoat thing going on there, country style. So I maybe make a bit of an effort. Suits it. Suits it is. I put my suit on, mate. I get the whole shebang on. You get one of those fitted suits on me. Yes, Adrian. Of course. Look, always dying to try new whiskey, and I'm always dying to share the whiskey. I think that's very important that we share the love. So actually, we've got a tasting here on Friday for Belfast Whiskey Club, right? And we're going through this A to Z of Scottish distilleries. So we're on. Where are we? Are we on the letter L? I think we might be on the letter L. And I've got 4 whiskies to put in for Scotland. But then I've got a couple of actually, wee extras, right? So we're going to have 4 Scottish whiskies, LMN and O. And then I've got an exclusive. So we're going to be drinking this. This will be an exclusive here on Friday. Not many people will get to taste that before they get it in the shops, but we're going to taste it on Friday with the club. But we're also going to try 2 really random things. So those that might have followed us during the whiskey week might have taken part in the experimental barrels. So we did these little experimental barrels using Buckfast, gin, rum, WKD Blue, and Iron Brew. Anyway, I gave these barrels, once they were finished with, I gave these barrels to different people. And 2 of the barrels were filled up with really nice Irish whiskey. And we've left them for a long time. And we're going to be drinking that on Friday. I think that looks like maybe I've given that away. Maybe I shouldn't have told them that, but that's what we're going to be doing. A bit of fun. Yes, Liam, really. I absolutely love that. That's Glenkinchie. Yeah. It's not O'Cahan, Drew. You're quite right. It's down as O'Cahan. I don't mind what people call me. Sure, I got called Irish the other day on Barry Chandler's show, which I took as a compliment. That doesn't faze me. Scottish, it's Kane, but it's O'Cahan in the Irish, and that's perfectly fine. Cheers, Rab. Thanks very much. Shave off, right? Okay, shave it off. Here we go. No one would recognise a bald-chinned Paul. I'm not sure. Is that a Jamaica tribute? I don't know. I've had this hat a long time. It's one of those. It was a weird day today. 1 minute it was like 3 degrees, the next minute it was 11 degrees, and it was back to like 3 degrees again. It was a really strange kind of temperature thing going on today. I went out for it. Yeah, Buckfast whiskey, exactly, Mark. And it was absolutely. Do you know what? For me, it was the highlight of the festival in some respects, because it proved, beyond shadow of a doubt, everyone will talk about terroir. I'm all for the conversation about terroir, by the way, and I think myself and Waterford, we delved into that during Belfast Whiskey Week. But for me, terroir needs to have its place. But I prove, shadow of a doubt, that if you put whiskey into casks, the exact same whiskey, doesn't matter what whiskey is, that you are going to be getting super different flavor profiles from those different casks. So the cask element is huge. To me, and it could nearly be bigger than anything else. It is definitely, the cask is just a massive, take on it. So the whiskey we had, you could taste the WKD, you could taste the Iron Brew, you could also taste that Buckfast coming through. You could taste all those elements because the wood itself was sucking in all those flavours and giving it straight back out. It was absolutely brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. My teapot must be cold. Yes, Liam. Do you know what? I miss a good teapot. Everyone used to have a good teapot, didn't they? They always had a gas stove, a weak teapot on the go. And yeah, it does look like one. Does look like you could have it. Ryan, cheers, mate. Hold on. Yeah, if only we were making some cash. Rab, I can get you this hat if you want, Rab. Do you want this hat? I pass it on to you. I drop it off to you Friday night. I give it to you. Here we go. Yes, but listen, fun enough, there was a guy, I think, trying to peddle Buckfast whiskey at one point. This is years and years ago. We tried to buy it from them. There was a company down south somewhere down in southern part of Ireland, literally trying to sell whiskey that was matured in Buckfast barrels. Buckfast barrels don't exist, funnily enough. And even if they did exist, even if they were real things, they were never sold and would never be sold out of the distillery. So, yeah, I think maybe they got a wee telling off by the people who own the rights to sell Buckfast in Ireland. But yeah. You definitely want it, Rab. You definitely want it. So yeah, so tomorrow night, if people want to tune in, as I say, it was a wee quickie tonight, just to say thank you very much for anyone who is bothering and paying attention. But if you keep an eye out, if people are really bored about Cologne, I mean, I know there was a couple of sets went out in the Cologne cult. They have to pay for them, but there was a wee draw that was done. But anyone else, this will go to a couple of local off licenses in Ireland. I think it goes to the likes of Celtic Whisky, and it probably goes to Irish malts, I assume. But the Dunvilles only from their site. So Dunvilles only from their site. That'll be really interesting. Cologne has their own wee site as well, which they're going to be selling that product from. But I think the Dunvilles one, it'll be Friday night at some point, probably during my tasting with Belfast Whisky Club. Always happens. I end up, losing the entire populace of the club who just turn their phones off, go onto the computer and try and buy Dunvilles. Really does my head in. Like, it's at one time, not only told, it's it's actually great to see, because usually you have Jarlath in the conversation and he's looking at his phone going, right, they're for sale. And then 1 second later he goes, they're sold out. And you're kind of like, what goes on there? What goes on? And it is a mad dash for little fingers doing this. But that Dunville range, those PXs, every one of them different as well. They all taste completely different. Are so good. Like, are so good. Like, I'm a massive fan of it. Just massive fan of Cooley, and then it cask strength, and then that PX. There's just something about it. Jarlath does consider. He understands that there's a cornered market. Belfast Whisky Club is on, thus he can gloat at how good Dunvilles is selling at that point. So he probably does have consideration for himself, and the fact that he has a core group of people who are really supporting him. Belfast Whisky Club supports all of the work that's going on in the north, and indeed across the islands, for all the distilleries. So when we know there's something new coming out, we want to try. We want to try it. So we go and buy a bottle. We'll get it drunk, and that's how the club operates. But I saw someone talking earlier on, just in case people think I'm just a weirdo. I saw someone talking earlier on one of our Facebook groups. I think it might have been the UB group. So anyone who knows what I'm talking about, the UB group. And they said that they were looking at one of these companies over in Englandshire sending out samples. And they were like, oh, this is great. And there's a couple of guys from different societies, who are based here. Maybe we've got Cork Whisky Society, maybe it's Kilkenny, maybe it's, ourselves in Belfast. And we're going, listen, we do that. Maybe, we're doing it on a fortnightly, we're at least doing maybe 3 a month at the moment, of those types of tastings where you get a selection of whiskey, and each one of our tastings is purely unique. So you're getting a selection of those whiskies, probably more mils in it than what you're getting from the English people, and it's probably cheaper. And yet, I'm still seeing people in Ireland looking elsewhere for whiskey, and I think that the people could look a little bit closer at home and support all those different clubs that are around Ireland. Do you know what I mean? And make them, maybe get in touch with them. So if you're close to, Cork, get involved with Cork. If you're close to, I know there's definitely 2 in Dublin that we've come across, If you're in, anywhere near Kilkenny, and I'm sure there's other ones elsewhere that, if you're local to these people, get involved. In the north, we service the whole of the north. We drive round, or I drive around, I say we, as if like there's a 1 million of me driving around dropping off whiskey. But I would go round and make sure that all of our club members have their whiskies, you know what I mean? So, and that's, people all over the place. So happy enough to do that. But yeah, listen, up at Dunville's, indeed, says Brandon. I like the way Brandon has his own distillery, has his own product, and he's still like, yes, I'm on the Dunville's, as if like, he can't remember what team he plays for. It's absolutely brilliant. Is there going to be a Belfast Whisky Week sample box to buy? Aidan? Yes. Lots of them. So Aidan, yes. Is there going to be a Belfast Whisky Week sample box to buy? Yes. 1,000%. So I think I alluded it the other night about some of the stuff we've got going on. We've got some really interesting boxes coming for Belfast Whisky Week. We have 70 different tastings. Trying very hard just now to sort out the semantics of the entire festival. Just now, there's a lot of things going on in the background, particularly how we deliver that festival in terms of your interaction. So how you come across the festival, how you're able to watch it, how you can interact. Because if you're not here physically in Belfast, we still want you to be involved. So we're working really, really hard. Like really hard on that right now. And the technical part of that is going to be crucial to what we've done. I think we surpassed expectations last year, but again, we're just going to push the ceiling. So I mean, really push the ceiling for it. I said I was coming on here for a quickie. We're at 21 minutes, but I'm loving the fact we've got people on here for the chat. Yes, shop local, indeed, shop local. Let's get people thinking about their local off licensees, supporting them. Thinking about the local bars, supporting them. Let's because there's so much going on just now that if I'm a mass producer and I can put stuff out there, and well, fair enough, that's dead on, and I've had the budget to do that, But look at some of it. Like, we're a non-profit. Whatever we're doing here is non-profit. We're not putting it. The clubs and societies that we have. Irish Whiskey Society, for example, say, the tastings they do, which are fabulous. I would say anyone, again, I'm slightly different because the amount of time that I spend on what's going on, and I don't have a lot of time to be involved with the tastings they have down in Dublin. But I would definitely say if you can get involved with one of the society groups, great, because you're going to benefit so much from the knowledge and experience those guys have. It's just huge and amazing. So I would definitely keep on saying, find that, get involved. Brian Green's doing a great job, and the guys down there are they have your whiskey needs in the back of their mind. So and people like Finn O'Connor, Matt from Boan Distillery, these guys are involved in the society down there, and there's a lot going on. It's definitely worth keeping in touch with the society and see what's going on there. Yeah, exactly, Rab. You're 100% right, and I could take my hat off, but I'm going to keep it on just now. But I think you're right. By doing tastings, be them weekly or bi-weekly tastings that we're doing just now, or and getting bottles opened and getting everyone to taste them. You know what I mean? Really, what I class as being cheap. It's not. I mean, for some people it might come across as expensive, but our tastings, in the main, if it's physical, it's usually about 35 quid. You know what I mean? But because of the logistics now, it's about £45 a tasting. But even then, minimum of 6 whiskies. Roughly £35, 35ml measures. You know what I mean? They're great. They're great tastings to be involved in. Some of the whiskey, we'll be honest, is not phenomenal, and that's just the reality of whiskey. Whiskey have baselines. Some whiskey that we get from some distilleries in some countries just don't come up to the mark. And yet, some people will be absolutely mind-blown by some of the whiskies that you taste. Do you know what I mean? And there's no limit to the cost. Sometimes, we're tasting bottles that are hundreds of pounds old. I mean, easy. Do you know what I mean? Because we're able to go and purchase them. With the club members' fees and stuff. Let's have a look. Not having a dram tonight, Paul. Do you know what? I thought because I was doing this is a quickie. This is not the Slancher series. This is just me. I was trying to come on just to say, listen, and just come on to say sorry, really, and hopefully we get to see Hinge tomorrow. So tomorrow night is when it's happening. Tomorrow night, 8:30, and we will do, an exclusive with them, which will be really interesting. And I will be drinking at that point. Tonight, I'm actually going to do myself a wee favour. I'm going to go and do some work, which means that I can be sober and not have the alcohol right now. Although it's the first. Is it the first night I've not had a wee sip? I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Yeah, cancel the Tenerife, Kenny. Cancel. Just cancel Tenerife. Just get it done. Do you know what'd be really interesting, Kenny? And I do mean this. See if people are wanting to come to the actual festival itself, the actual physical event. I mean, we're now hearing some of the news announcements just now about being able to book hotels. Booking hotels. Wow. Let's book the hotels, because see if you're booking hotels to come to Belfast just now, and you book through our booking partners, through our partners for the actual festival itself. There will be a room code, a discount code, and you get a discount. But also, if you're doing that, then some of the events that we have, and they're physical, they'll be free to you for you to come along, or they'll at least be part of your package when you're booking the room. So have a think about it. Yeah, I mean, a couple £100 up in Belfast, and you're getting to go to a few different tastings and stay in some luxurious hotels. Like, I mean, the Hastings Group have the best hotels in Northern Ireland. That's a fact. The likes of Europa, Grand Central. Look these up on the internet. Culloden, Sleeve Donald, Stormont. These hotels are just fabulous. You know what I mean? Yeah. BWW is flexible too. Yes, it is flexible. The club is flexible. Yeah, it's in and out. You don't have to be. You don't have to come to every tasting. But the whiskey week is flexible. That's one thing I was thinking to myself. It's if I was just coming along to the festival, what does that mean? How do I envisage coming along to the festival? And I kept on thinking about all the other festivals, the physical ones that I would attend. So if you went around Scotland, you get a whole heap of festivals you can go to. And I kept on thinking, how do we emulate some of that stuff, and how do we push boundaries? How do we make it bigger? How can we make Belfast Whisky Week bigger? And I do mean this. How do you make it bigger than the Isla Festival? How do you do that? Because I'm a massive Isla fan. Most people I know, massive Isla fans. You've got the Campbelltown Festival, you've got the Speyside Highland Festival, you've got all these different festivals. How do you make it bigger than that? How do you make it, as attractive to a person who wants to taste whiskey? So I've had to think about lots of things. How do I do that? How can I entice people? How can I make people think that? So it comes down to variety. So a massive amount of variety. It comes down to cost. To make it as cheap as possible for for more people to be able to come in and get involved in it. And I think that it's about what a festival is. It's not just a whiskey tasting, and we're going to keep on pushing this message. Belfast Whisky Week is a festival. It's not just a series of tastings. So it's about what else is there. Is there the crack? Is there the comedy? Is there the music? Is there the food? Is there lots of things that that make a festival? Like I don't just go to Glastonbury just to listen to one artist. I go to listen to lots of artists and have a bit of crack. I want to see people. I want to hug people, express feelings with people. Whatever you might think about those expressions of feelings at Glastonbury, I'm not too sure. But eat food. You know what I mean? Get involved. Be sociable. And the festival is that. You can go to a tasting and sit there with a brand ambassador, drink and then leave. And yeah, you might have been satisfied with the whiskey, but okay, was that it? We just want you to come in and involve yourself. There's a big community. Whiskey community is millions deep. Millions deep. It's not 10 deep at the bar. It's not 100 deep at the bar. It's millions. And particularly because we can focus our attention on the internet, we can zoom in on the internet, and we can all wee Jimmy who lives in Hungary right now can be watching this and be interested in whiskey, and we can have a chat, and he can get involved, and he can probably sit there having a a wee drink when we're actually talking to people who know what they're talking about in the whiskey industry, other than me. So if we're talking to someone maybe like Jamie tomorrow from Hinge, you know, he might benefit from it. But yeah, can't travel. Yeah, you're right at the moment, Aidan. I know there's some real strange rules just now. I know that some people, like I've had to cross the border recently, and people aren't leaving their counties, which is good because at least they're listening to some of the advice. I don't get out and I don't go and socialise, so I drive in my car. And if you ever, like, one thing I have done for the whole year, well over a year now, is not really speak to people, which is get out my car, drop something off, get back in my car. I've been to the supermarket no more than maybe 10 times in a year. You know, I don't go out. There's nowhere to go out, so I don't go out eating. You know what I mean? And again, I've only physically gone into likes of a garage. I've had to go and get petrol or something. That's really about it. And even then, it's all contactless stuff. So, yeah, it's not the shower cap, Mick. Your shower cap rendition last night was brilliant. I really loved it, and I loved the spinny wheel thing. That was class. I need to know how to navigate that because I definitely would do it again. But yeah, summer holidays should be sorted, Brendan. I think summer holidays are in Belfast because there's going to be lots and lots of sunshine. Oh, and whiskey. Lots and lots and lots of whiskey. Wow, Kieran McKissick, that's an interesting one. Be great to see a CBD whiskey in the future and bring whiskey back to a medicine. LOL, just an idea. Kieran McKissick, do you know what? I'm going to call that one out. Kieran, you're a lovely fella, and I really like you. I have a lot of time for you, Kieran. And a lot of people on here will not know who Kieran is, but he's probably one of the most... People need to think of Kieran McKissick as the Jamie Vardy of Irish football. Jamie Vardy of Irish football. You know that story where Jamie Vardy never played professional football, really? You know, he was in the lower leagues, way down lower leagues, and all of a sudden, you know, at the age of like 40 or something, he became like a Premier League player. Kieran McKissick is Jamie Vardy. He is well into his 30s. Must be. Well into your 30s. I can't remember exactly what age you are, Kieran. But he is Lionel Messi. He is unbelievable. You know what I mean? Super old, super talented, a fantastic GA player. But as a soccer player, futsal player, he's got it, you know, he's got it made. But Kieran actually makes a very good point about this CBD thing. We actually have in the club, and we've not done it. And I know if Ricky's still on, Ricky's going to be kicking himself. We have not done this yet. We actually have a bottle of, now is it whiskey? Is it whiskey or is it rum? There is something which has either been finished or has stayed in a cask, which is something to do with cannabis. Now, it was legal, wherever it was purchased from, it's legal. So it's a legal product. Very, very strange. Definitely need to find out what we've done with that because we haven't opened it nor have we tasted it yet. So I really need to think about it. So Kieran, it is an idea. There's definitely something going on there. There's definitely something to think about. But at the moment, I'm not sure exactly if the industry... Could I see the industry doing something? I'm not sure. I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know if they would take the risk in this country. Would Scotland or Ireland, you know, the whiskey producers take a massive risk in something so debatable? Because it's debatable. I mean, whether or not anyone agrees as to what's suitable, be it look, alcohol was given out on prescription. You know, let's not forget that alcohol was a prescription drug given by doctors. You know, we've seen all of those slips. We've seen the history of it. So, you know, there's a change. Whether or not things move quickly, I'm not too sure. Mick McGuire's always jealous. Tom Lee's just always jealous. Leeds and Revs festivals have announced they're going ahead, which is good. So hopefully we can have a live Belfast Whisky Week. Do you know what? I think Anthony, that's good to know. That is good to know. Look, there's going to be a physical, and maybe I just need to point out, we will be live streaming all of our tastings, but they're going to be physical. You know, if you're in Belfast and you can come to Belfast, if you make that trip, if you book that last minute flight, if you book that last minute trip from wherever you're coming from, we're going to be live. We're going to be
I am not doing it from my house anymore. That whole year, last year, that whole week, I did it here. And I was just stuck. My wee hole was stuck in, in my chair, and I was just like, nah, I need out of that. So we're going to be in venues. So let's, listen, there's lots of venues we have access to in Belfast, and we'll be very supportive of them going forward. And it's to try and drum up some business for them also, because look, they've had a very tough year, but we're going to be in some lovely pubs. You can imagine what pubs we're going to be in, and we're going to be in some, some of those hotels that we talked about as part of the supporters of the festival, and maybe other venues. We'll look at, but we'll be physical. So Anthony, indeed, and it's great that music festivals are on the go. That's super, because yes, we then know that we can, see things in a greater light. But yeah, we're planning on being physical, but then also planning on, doing everything virtual, which means we get that message out there. Because unfortunately, Anthony, there's going to be people, in Mexico who need their fix of Belfast Whisky Week. For me to turn around and say to our friends in Mexico, listen, laddies, cheers for last year, but it's not happening. Nah, man, they would go mental. They just would not be accepting of that, and I don't want no Mexican coming after me and saying, no, son, give me Belfast Whisky Week. So it's going to happen. We'll do it physical, but it's going to be broadcast. We're going to broadcast. We're going to have like a proper team of people focusing their beautiful cameras on my shaven face at that point. Maybe I'll have a suit on. Maybe I'll just be wearing a t-shirt. I don't care. I don't know what I'm going to be wearing, but maybe shorts and t-shirt. I wore shorts and t-shirt in 2008, in 2019 Belfast Whisky Festival. I was wearing shorts and t-shirt. People should remember this. That it was roasting. Belfast was roasting. Biling. We had Cuban, we had a lovely wee rum and Cuban food night, and it was just great. But, I remember a couple of those tastings. After the tastings, we went out, to the club afterwards, for a couple of more drinks. I'm sitting there with my shorts and t-shirt on, and I think, Belfast doesn't get great doesn't get great weather all the time, but when it does get good weather, it's lovely. Like, wee Jimmy from Hungary, exactly, Liam. You must know wee Jimmy from Hungary. I actually do know wee Jimmy from Hungary. I just sign on for the hat. Tim, I love my hat. I absolutely love it. Don't, if you want one, I can share it with Rab and cut it in half or something. Good, Sean. Thank you. Listen, yeah, suffering from a serious deficiency of crack needs to be cured. We can help you do that. Yes. Yes, indeed. He does. He needs to get a better hat than his wife's shower cap. That's it. It's the absinthe, Richard. It's the absinthe. There you go. 32, Kieran. Yeah, I mean, look, you're over 30. I did say you're over 30. Like, so 32. But 32 and still the Jamie Vardy of Ireland. Look, okay, listen, guys, I'm going to head off. Tomorrow, 8:30, Hinge Distillery. Slanch will be part of the Slancha series. But listen, thank you very much. Good night, and generally thank you very much for everyone that popped on for the crack there. Hopefully when people go back and they click into this and they're like, I was looking for the Slancha, I think they're going to go, this guy was just talking shite for the last 38 minutes. Mental. But I was having a bit of banter with you guys. Listen, thanks very much. All right. Slancha indeed, and Slancha, yes. And you will be allowed to leave Sweden, Robert. Of course you will. Oh, cheers, Don. Oh, John, thanks very much. Oh, it's good to see you on, John. Hope things are good up there. Listen, good night.